Welcome everyone to an awesome showdown between QSA's BentheBarman as the Tomb Kings, going against Federico Chaves as the Norscans. So, for the men of Chaos, starting here in the front, we are going to have 4 units of the Skirmish Cavalry with the Marauder Horse Masters. They're going to be backed up for the front line, 4 units of the Cheap Marauders, here alongside 3 more elite units of the Marauder Berserkers, including here the Brute of the Hound for that unbreakable status. In the back, we are going to have the double armoured skin walls, both here with anti-large, but the Maws of Savagery, the Regiment of Renown, coming in with a bucket load of armour piercing. Here with Frenzy, a regeneration and immune psychology, going to be very good against the Tomb Kings and all those constructs. So the Famir Belfian of Fire, a much better melee combatant compared to the normal sorcerers, here with Arcane Conduit, Burning Head from the Mist, and also Kindle Flame as the items. For the front, we are going to be having the Lord, which is going to be Warfred the Wanderer here on a chariot, only here with Seafang. I've been seeing this quite a lot, and I'm not too sure why people don't bring Hunters of Champions. Maybe it's too expensive, maybe people don't see the correct utilization from it. Not too sure, but I do think it's a really, really nice item. Tomb Kings normally go here with strong legendary lords, as well as good hero support as well. So normally you can see some good utilization from it. But maybe, I'm not too sure, maybe some of the top players here in the game perhaps aren't bringing it anymore. But here for the Tomb Kings and BentheBarman, 4 units of the Scoot and Shoot here with the Skeleton Horsemen. The archers here have 140 range, 90 range here for the Horse Masters. So as long as the Horse Masters don't get isolated, they should do pretty well here as they're going to be faster, better in melee combat, and should be able to push off the Skeleton Horse Archers here. Front line, pretty cheap and cheerful. We are going to be seeing the King's Takesh Scorpion Legion, extra armor, poison, anti-large, you know the good stuff, as well as the Skeleton Warriors here dotted throughout. Over here as well, extra colours of Skeleton Spearmen, just a seriously wide front line, backed up here by the double Skeleton Chariots, and also the Necropolis Knights. Look at these bad boys. They're going to be armor piercing, 110 armor as well as a good shield, 61 armor piercing weapon strength, a really, really nice construct unit. We are going to have Citra the Imperishable here on a Kitty Cat, with the Blessed Blade of Petra, Incantation of Desiccation, Incantation of Protection, the Incantation of the Cursed Blades, when overcast, actually does give bonuses large, which is a really nice one as well. Unyielding Will, as well as the Restless Dead and the Curse. So quite a good hero core as well. So we are going to have a Tomb Prince here on a chariot with Guardian, and also a Necrotect as well on a chariot with Restore. So Restore is going to partner up really nicely here with the Necropolis Knights. They will be constructs, so they can get 1008 healing per pop there, which is going to be super good there throughout the game. So we are going to play, and I think this is going to be an early mistake out of the Norscan player. We are going to see both of these units going to kind of isolated here against 4 of the Skeleton Horse Archers. Now, if they kind of split and scoot and shoot, 4 against 2, we should be able to take them down pretty quickly. We do have the range advantage, and Horsemen, they do pay here for extra armor, but 50 armor is just not going to be enough here up against the Skeleton Horse Archers. In the front cycle charger, we are going to be seeing Warfred the Wanderer going in nice and deep here, but kind of get counter-pushed here by the Skeleton Horse Archers. Nice there for BentheBarman. It's going to prevent Warfred just cycle charging all over those Skeleton Warriors. So good work there. So we are going to get the King's Takesh Scorpion Legion. The extra armor here should pay quite nicely. Look at those gorgeous shields. They're going to thump here up against the Marauders. It's going to be a little bit of a grind fest here in the front. Poison is going to slow down this Conquest quite nicely. 43 melee defense. It's going to be pretty hard to punch through. In the middle here, looks like we are going to get, Citra the Imperishable going down here with the Blessed Blade of Petra. It's going to weaken the stats there of the big man here, so we are going to see Warfred trying to get his way out, but the Necropolis Knights are just a whole load of mass here. It's really going to pin him in and do all the good bit of juicy damage. Down the line, we are going to see a Burning Head here on the Skeleton Warriors. This could also be mixed up again here with the Seafang, which could do a lot of deletion on this line. Up against the King's Takesh Scorpion Legion would actually be an optimal spell there, so that should be some good stuff. So it looks like here we're going to break with Warfred the Wanderer. He does get terrified there from Citra. So surprised Warfred the Wanderer does not have immune to psychology. I don't even think that's even lore friendly, but it looks like he's going to get pushed off here. Skeleton Horse Archers are going to be pushing. Do we have anything to stop it here? It looks like we do actually have in the background here some Marauder Horse Masters. They are going to be broken, but they desperately need to save Warfred. Negative 16 leadership with such a cheap front line here of just Marauders. It's going to be pretty painful to play against. In the back here, Horse Masters going to be doing the good work, scooting and shooting and doing all the damage, but Necropolis Knights are certainly going to ruin the day here of all the Horsemen. Brutes of the Hound and Marauder Berserkers certainly need to get involved here a little bit more. On the left here, the Marauder Berserkers, they do actually win here. You are going to see this little aura coming in. That is going to be their rage mechanics. We do break here with the Skeleton Warriors as they do shatter. Over here in the back, it looks like we do actually have some Horse Masters to the rescue, trying to see if we can charge down here up against these Skeleton Horse Archers. The Horsemen are going to be guiding, hopefully trying to see if we can get Warfred back. If we do engage, we actually see someone just miss the Marauder Horsemen. They are going to catch a couple, but the rest should be able to engage here up against the Skeleton Horsemen, and it looks like they have been Michael'd here. They are going to be shooting, but they're not going to be chasing. We're so close to the edge of the line. If Warfric goes here, this could be seriously tough coming in for the Norscans. Leadership is enough, and he does return. That is so painful. There's going to be nothing over here to kind of push him off the edge, but we do have Ushabti and some Skeleton Horsemen here fighting in this battle. And Ushabti have some very, very good weapon strength. 72 armor piercing, could really butcher up against Horsemasters. 31 and 28, you can see them here going down pretty strong. Warfric is going to be turning to the battlefield here, but we do have Skeleton Horse Archers still, 2 units in battle. So the Skeleton Chariots, one very healthy, the other one is going to be struggling, but the cycle charging very hard here into this infantry. We can see the Moors of Savagery and the Skimwalls doing some nice work here on the left-hand flank. Necropolis Knights are going to be fighting. Brutes of the Hound alongside the Marauder Berserkers going to be fighting here up against the Necrotect. And the Necropolis Knights do actually get a restore, so it's going to be 1008 healing here on the constructs, and there's still going to be an 18 models, so very nice work there from BentheBarman, some great mobility advantages, and some nice micro as well, just to make sure we keep these nice and high. Cetra does fight in the middle, looks like he's going to try and snipe the Famir Belfiend. No joke in combat though, we are going to use Incantation of Protection, but we can see here the Famir Belfiend does actually do magic damage. Here with Armor Sundering could be really nice up against Cetra. Cetra still has 95 armor, but 65, you could even see units like the Brutes of the Hound here do some very, very nice work indeed. Burning Head against the King's of Kesh Scorpion Legion is going to be a very nice spell. It's really going to delete a lot of that cheap chaff. And if you remove the cheap chaff, a lot of the Berserkers here can really overwhelm these forces. Necropolis Knights must be supporting here up against Cetra. It's going to look pretty bad here in the end stages. Warfric is returning. He only has 1,100 health. Not looking super healthy. Skeleton Chariots are going to be close by, but I think they're probably going to look to clear up a lot of these Berserkers on the periphery. So it looks like here Warfric could cycle charge through the back here, but we do need to get the Famir Belfiend in a little bit more combat. Same here for the Berserkers. It looks like here in the back, the Necropolis Knights is going to be fighting still up against the Moors of Savagery. Moors of Savagery should do quite well here. I'm surprised we're going to see them a little bit more in combat here, maybe with a bit of support from the Famir Belfiend. On the top, though, we can see the Skeleton Chariots were kind of getting some pressure here from the Marauder Horse Masters. Archers shooting in from behind, so they're going to do some nice damage indeed, and they should be able to break this skirmish cavalry. In the back here, Berserkers fighting up against the Necrotect and the Tomb Prince. But in the middle, we are going to be finding that getting some good pressure here on the Skeleton Chariots. Very strong here from the Tomb Kings. Now, we do a Cetra fighting here up against the Moors of Savagery. If we do use the Blade of Petra, we can get that fire damage and therefore the weakness for the regenerating Skin Wolves. So we are going to get the Jaff's Incantation. That's actually going to give armor piercing and base weapon damage. But if we do overcast it, anti-large can be really strong up against this monstrous infantry. In the back, the Necropolis Knights are slithering over. They're going to be fighting here up against the Marauders. Marauders will get broken. I think it's just Fear. Yeah, it's just going to be Fear. So that should be enough to push them off quite nicely. But here, they should be able to get in and help up against the Skin Wolves. The Necropolis Knights are going to be up to 63 kills. It's like here, 56 for the Armoured Skin Wolves. And for the Moors of Savagery, 49. So still doing some pretty good damage overall. Necrotect is going to be in combat. Armor piercing anti-large here for the Moors of Savagery. Should do some really nice work here in the middle. Necropolis Knights now going to be fighting here up against the Marauder Horse Masters. Probably not a place they want to be fighting. They really struggle with AP. They are going to be just heavily dependent on that weapon strength there for the Javelin missiles. In the middle, we are going to have the Famir Belfiend fighting here, still up against the King's Kesh Scorpion Legion. A really tanky unit here, going to be going still super strong. 80 models, and it looks like here the Brutes of the Hound are going to be really getting to the end here. 22 models, going to be at 770 health. All the infantry here for both sides has pretty much been depleted. It's going to be constructs, monstrous infantry, and just these big bad boy legendary lords going at it. Pretty strong here. Balance of power is going to be pulling heavily into the King favours. That is going to be army losses. GG's, and well played here coming in from BentheBarman. Just finishing off here with a shatter with a very healthy Famir Belfiend. Yeah, a bit of a shame there towards the end. The Famir Belfiend was very strong. I didn't actually see it get involved too much. It has pretty good belly combat capabilities. Armor Sundering, magic damage. It can really do a lot of work there. And of course, Armor Sundering here on top of the Necropolis Knights from 110 down to 80 makes them a lot easier to deal with here with Skin Wolves. If you had these together with the Famir Belfiend, and maybe also here with Wolfred the Wanderer coming in with his ability there, the Hunters are Champions, these two combined with the Armored Skill Balls could pretty much snipe anything coming in for the Tomb King build. If they got on top of Cetra, that could have been down by, I think it's negative 30 armor, so it could be negative 60. They would have been Cetra down to 35 armor. The Skin Balls would have had an absolute field day here. So a bit of a shame to see those, and also the Marauder Horsemasters kind of getting isolated there a little bit. So nice work for BentheBarman to keep these together, break break Wolfred the Wanderer here with Cetra and the Necropolis Knight, and then kind of push him off. Nearly got him off the edge of the map there. That would have been a very, very quick victory there. Wolfred going off for negative 16 leadership is just huge for the Marauders. They don't have great leadership, so they definitely need that leadership support. But a great victory here coming in for BentheBarman. We got 73 kills, 1006 there for Wolfred the Wanderer. We got 580 there for the Famir Belfiend, 54, 125, 277, and 310 there for the Marauders. Berserkers 97, 580, and 1365 for the Brutes of the Hound. Yeah, Federico Chaves certainly getting those in there towards the end. We got 760 with 580, 450, and 280 there for the Marauder Horsemasters. 1000 in for the Armored Skimballs, and 970. Just showing what value that Wimballs can really get here. They can certainly do very strong. They're called Wimballs for a reason, because they could really, really drag Norsca through the mud and to some of those victories. So BentheBarman with an excellent performance here. Certainly a matchup the Tomb Kings are not favoured in. We are going to see 1,430 for Cetra the Imperishable, 1,080 there for the Necrotect, with 840 for the Tomb Prince. 150, 108, 230, 73 here for the Skeleton Warriors, with 92 and 550 for the King's Nakesh Scorpion Legion. 43 melee defense, but also here buffed by Cetra the Imperishable. It's just super strong there. The King's Nakesh Scorpion Legion with added armor just gives them that little bit of extra tank that they really need for the front line. 84 kills, 1,166 for the Skeleton Chariots, 88 for 977. Skeleton Chariots here for the Tomb Kings are just uber strong, with 390, 520, 520, and 340 here for the Skeleton Horse Archers. Now, under the new field rules, I do think here that the double chariots with also the double chariots, the Necrotect and the Tomb Prince, I think that might be illegal, but you know, certainly here you can have some changes. You know, you could probably put maybe the Tomb Prince on horseback, and maybe just have him supporting Cetra, you know, with that physical resistance and Guardian. But the Necropolis Knights, 2,608 damage value. The Necropolis Knights, 92 kills. Very tanky unit. The Restore was super powerful as well, giving over 2,000 health alongside there the passive lore of the Tomb Kings. So probably coming in at about 2,500 healing, some approximately around there. And yeah, some really nice stuff there for Necropolis Knights. They performed extremely well, and with 110 armor and bronze shields, as long as they kept away here from the Famir Belfiend and the Maws of Savagery, they did pretty well. As long as they were supported by Cetra, they could do some nice work for sure. But what an awesome game here between both these legends. Really nice to see Tomb Kings get a big, fat, juicy win here. I hope you guys did enjoy that. If you did, do smash that like button. It really does help here on the channel. Drop a comment down below about what you thought as well. I'd love to know all your thoughts and opinions. If you are new here, do feel free to subscribe and also check out that description. You can find all my other social media platforms, including Twitch, but most importantly, that Discord, where you can see all of my single player and multiplayer content for Warhammer, as well as all the other games I play, like Age of Empires, and that replays for casting section, where you can leave videos just like this one to see in the future. So I've been your boy Logic. Take care of yourself during these times, and I'll see you all very, very soon.